about myself. I started Qigong about 30 years ago. Found my teacher in a church in North London, and I could sense this energy between my hands, and I got very excited about it because I knew there was something beyond my job and my car and the life I was leading. So when I sensed this energy that was around me, I thought I'd take this as a lifelong study. And as a result, I've learned a lot about energy work, healing, and all the different aspects of Qigong, or many aspects of Qigong practice. Of course, there are many styles of Qigong, thousands of different styles. Many of them are martial arts. So I've had people come to my class where, for a year they had to stand on one leg in their class. So they're very happy in my class because they didn't have to stand, on one leg for so long and things like that. So sometimes martial arts, but really, I think it's known for the healing, the healing that happens during a Qigong session. And in China, before they crack down on Qigong, because in China, they don't like to have too many big meetings of people because, Tiananmen Square and all that. So in the old days, you had Qigong masters who'd have 5,000 people in a class, in a stadium. And, the person a mile away was shaking away with the energy. So the energy actually integrates the whole group. So even though we're here online, you're in different places, you'll definitely be able to sense the energy coming through. So there's a kind of energy transmission that comes through from my teacher to me, from the lineage. And when you practice, you should definitely sense some benefits. So before we start, zero, maybe just think about how your energy, how you're feeling, 0 to 10, 10 being, amazing, full of energy, raring to go, 0 being a bit exhausted, a bit, tired. Just put in the chat box, just to compare it maybe from now to the end. So 0 to 10, 10 is maximum, 0 is, not too good. And tell you a little bit more about the healing aspect. I mean, over the years, I've seen, people come with quite serious conditions like, I don't like labels, but of course we have to use labels as well. And people say they have things like ME, it's like fatigue syndrome. But actually, yeah, it's when the body has no energy left at all. It's as if the cells have gone a bit dead. And sometimes these people find it hard to keep their jobs. They get disability allowance suddenly, and for the rest of their life, the doctors have no solution for these kind of things. So Qigong can be very helpful to get the energy flowing in the body, flowing around the body, to wake up the cells. It's like we are connected to this universal energy around us. The earth, while we're sitting here, if you're sitting, just you sense your feet into the earth. Later, we're going to do some standing. We're going to connect with the heavenly energy, which is always there. So Qigong is just one way of switching on to this universal natural energy. Actually, it helps bring us back to our natural state. Many of us, in modern society, tend to be living in a very unnatural way. So Qigong, there's a lovely expression, which I don't remember in Chinese, but it's actually becoming a true human being, and you think, well, I am a true human being, but many of us are off track a bit. We've lost our way, whether, we're in the job we don't like, or we're not sleeping, or problems with health, digestion, all kinds of things. And, the vision of Qigong is to really live your life, until the natural end in a healthy way. Because we might live a long life, but maybe the last 10 years, sometimes I'm sure we know people the last, 10, 15 years are not healthy, but we want to stay healthy. And I think it's great to just keep the energy flowing. So we always have to have some movement as part of the practice, some stillness, connecting, and some staying in tune to this energy to allow the qi to work on the body. And the qi knows where to go, kind of what to do to us, and my teacher often said that good health is a side effect of practicing Qigong. So then you think, well, what is the point of practicing Qigong? And there are so many other benefits. So if I have to list them, I mean, I didn't come for health issues. Thank goodness I was relatively healthy. But I would say, you know, mental clarity, you know, peace of mind, have more energy, feel more connected to yourself more deeply. When you're more connected to yourself, you're more connected to other people. So your energy it's like raising your vibration. If your vibration is higher, then you attract better things into life. And I'm sure we know, you know, we come across people sometimes where their energy isn't very clean. Their energy maybe is a bit messy. So in Qigong, it's like reorganizing the energy system that we have, and self-healing, and actually, you know, becoming the true human being that we were put on the planet to be. You know, a tree will grow, you know, as tall as it can. A human being, as we've seen many times around us, restricts him or herself in so many ways. So with Qigong, we're actually reconnecting with this limitless nature that we have. And, you know, we call it, the Chinese call it Qi. So we have our human energy system, the Qi system. You have the universal energy system, and universal energy can have different names, like, what's his name? Carl Jung called it universal consciousness. You know, that all the information is out there. God, all that is. Oprah Winfrey calls it all with a capital A, that is. The field of all possibilities. I love that term. You know, you dip into this field of all possibilities. So tonight we're going to dip into this field, see what happens. If you haven't put it in the chat, put 0 to 10, how are you feeling before the session? And then we're going to put it at the end, remind me, at the end of the session, to see how you're feeling at the end. So I'm just seeing any questions anyone has before we start. We're going to stand most of the time. If you're a bit less mobile and you're watching this on replay, you can definitely do this sitting down as well. So Qigong, you know, when people are really ill, they can do it sitting, they can do it lying down, and gradually from lying, they come to sit, come to stand. So actually, it's very effective and very easy to follow, whatever your state. You know, if you're exhausted, if you're ill, if you're not so mobile, and that's why I think so many people tend to practice it. I'm just trying to think anything else. So if no questions, I think we'll start. And let me just put this, if you don't mind. What I'll do, I'll mute everyone, and then I'll unmute you after the session, okay? So, okay. So you should all be muted, and hopefully you can hear me okay. And I would say just follow along with what I'm doing, and just, you know, if you follow what I'm doing, you get the effect. You know, the effect is in the technique, is in the practice. So sometimes, even if it's something very simple, you'll get the energetic effect. So we'll start together, and standing. If you stand with your feet parallel, width of the shoulders, often when we stand, I often think I'm standing okay. I've got my feet parallel, and I look down and they're not parallel. One foot may be sticking out. So it's almost like you have to train yourself to stand with your feet parallel, width of the shoulders. That helps to adjust the spine also, and your posture, because the posture often is a bit off, tends to be a bit off. You know, and you see it, if people standing on platforms, sometimes they're leaning on something, or one leg is out here. You know, standing is strengthening. So in Qigong, through standing well on the earth, you can really connect well to the earth's energy. And I'll just show you the t-shirt, which some of you have seen before. So this is quite a good illustration of when we connect with the earth, all the heavy element comes down to earth. So imagine you drop all the heaviness down to earth, then the body becomes emptier, clearer, the mind uplifted. Or earth, heaven, human. So this is a kind of illustration, my teacher's kind of calligraphy, and it's a very good explanation. So hopefully by the end, you'll feel a bit like this, a bit emptier, connected, up and down, heavy element down to earth, because we tend to have a lot of the heaviness up in the head and thinking and worrying. So feet parallel, initially just some shaking, and shaking is just releasing tension. So as I said, if you're sitting, you can still shake. If you're standing, shake everything off the body. So I heard that when animals have trauma or something happens, then they shake immediately off their bodies. They just shake the tension off. So in the mornings, this is a good thing to do, to just, when you wake up, you just shake the body, get the energy moving to the extremities, head to the hands, head to the feet. And humans as well, children, if they're in an accident, immediately after they shake everything off. But humans, I mean adults, tend to keep it in. They don't actually follow the natural way. So if you do have any trauma, things like that, shaking is quite a well-known kind of remedy. And in Qigong, we tend to do quite a lot. And especially shaking the hands, because we tend to use the hands quite a lot, most of us on computers, on our mobile phones. So keep the fingers flexible, the space between the fingers, separate the space between the fingers. Clear that space. The fingers relate to all the internal organs. Fingers relate to the senses. Knuckles relate to the spine. You can see the vertebrae here. So if we keep the hands healthy and soft, then it's reflected in the body. Drop the shoulders, bend the knees, just drop everything down to earth, shaking. And then gradually you stop the shaking and just pause and stand. Hands facing towards the feet, as if the hands and the feet join. Feet into the earth. Just imagine you're really melting into the earth, as if the toes are roots from the tree, searching for water, searching into the earth from the heels, from the toes, so you feel very grounded, all the heaviness beginning to sink down to earth. Breathing in through the nose, as if breathing fresh air in, breathing out from the mouth. Breathing out all the stuffy air. Breathing in through the nose, fresh air in. We're oxygenating the blood, purifying the blood, just with the breathing as well. So standing you can do for longer, for strengthening the body, connecting with the earth, but tonight we'll just do it for a short time. And on YouTube, you look at the channel Flowing Health, there's longer videos with standing and a lot of the different aspects. So then we do a bit of slapping, and the slapping is a very strengthening practice. So any area that feels a bit weak, when you slap it, it's bringing the attention there. So especially the lower back, this area we sit on, you can make a fist, wake up the lower back, just slap it and hit it. And the hips, you can go harder on the hips. Hips tend to get a bit underused, let's say. Bend down, legs, feet, come up again, head, shoulders, lower back, hips, feet, once more. So older people, or people a bit sort of weak in the limbs, slapping is a really good daily exercise. You can do standing, sitting, so any area it tends to be weaker. If it's the knees, just do more on the knees. It brings the energy to that area, wakes it up, energy can start flowing through. Have another pause after the slapping. Always we have a pause to sense the effect. Slapping, it's like waking up the body. You feel the cells a bit tingly and more aware of the physical body. Head down to the feet. Cleansing part, just close the hands, cleaning the hair, front to the back of the head, back of the neck, come to the front quickly, lower back, outside of the legs, feet, heels, shake off. It's like you're collecting the dust off the body. Always down the outside part. Down to the feet, heels, shake off. Have another pause. So that's kind of preparation, shaking, slapping, rubbing, reorganizing the energy, de-stressing, purifying, and strengthening. Then without touching the body, hands down to the feet, come up at the front, open at the chest, go to the horizon, go up into the ceiling, just wider than the head, not too close together. Come down the back, front, lower back. We go the same way we just did with the slapping and rubbing. Turn, come up the inside, middle, pause for a moment at the middle of the chest, as if you want to open the whole front part of the chest. Extend to the horizon, up to the heavens. So the more we go up, actually, the more we go down. The body extending up, extending down. The chi is like dipping into this energy field above us, below us. Fingertips slightly bent, as if we can catch something on the fingertips. They can feel quite warm, sensitive, then coming down, back of the head. This is the self-healing form, if you like. So very effective to move the energy down to the earth, open up the front part of the body, and push everything down to the back, down to earth. Just continue breathing naturally in through the nose, out from the mouth. Once more, through the whole body. And this can be done many more times. You know, if we need the body to be in better shape, we can continue doing this wherever is needed. And then this movement can also be broken down for the arms, for example, the legs and the arms. Tonight we're just going to do the arms. So you go up the inside of the arm to the shoulder, down the outside, up the inside, down the outside. And all the meridians come through the shoulders and the arms. So this way we're kind of smoothing the meridians. And once more each side. And then come down to the front. The hands separate about the width of the body. Then one hand on top of the other without touching, opening the hands as if we're opening an energy sheet between the hands. This is getting close to sensing the energy between the hands. So if you separate the hands like this, hands parallel. You move to your left or your right. Feel one hand following the other, as if there's a subtle connection between the hands. This is beginning to sense the qi, very soft and easy. Don't have to think too much about these things. Just make sure we get this together. So hands parallel, one hand on top of the other. Open up this energy sheet between the hands. Open up. When it's open, keep the same distance. You feel the hands move one side or the other. Then we go around a ball in front of the body. Imagine a big ball in front, very smooth. And full. Just allow the arms to go around this ball in front. The ball is one of the simplest images and also one of the most effective because it contains a lot in it. When we connect with the ball image, everything can become smooth, flowing around. Next time we come up together, just pause in the higher position on top of the ball and rest the wrists and hands on the ball. Go around slightly differently. So you're underneath. Go around it. Higher position, you can lean on it slightly. Feel the elbows, the arms, the chest, everything resting on this big ball in front. Go around it. Once more. Next time, just come halfway. The two hands face each other, fingers separated, holding a ball in front of the body. Allow the ball to dissolve through to the chest, to the arms. So just smooth up everywhere. Check the elbows smooth, wrists smooth, like you're holding the ball. You can go around slightly differently, carefully around the ball. One hand above, one below. But sense the fullness, can't collapse the ball. It's just like playing with the ball here. Just come halfway, two hands facing each other. Sense some attraction between the hands, but we can't squash the ball. So we could do a meditation holding this ball, but just before we do, make sure everywhere opens up around the ball. So allow the ball to grow a little bit between the hands, a bit more, reaching to the horizon, reaching through the walls, reaching up through the ceiling. Look up, the ball into the ceiling, the feet around the ball all the way down to earth. So the ball as big as the room. Extend up, extend to the horizon. Everywhere has to open up. And then lower position, you just lean on this ball in front of you, like the ball as big as the room. You become like the shell on the outside of the ball. Sense the ball dissolving through the whole body to the spine. So the front part feels it's beginning to empty. Coming back just where we started, gradually the ball in front of the body. Smaller size. This time, close your eyes and just follow your own practice. Gently close your eyes, holding the ball in front of the body. When you close your eyes, you definitely notice more. The hands can feel quite swollen, tingly, hot, cold. just more sensations. The feet very large into the earth, the rest of the body beginning to feel emptier, more insubstantial. And give a hint for the ball to grow. Follow the ball in your own way, extending, opening the arms, the chest, go through the walls to the horizon, the ball as big as the building. It wants to go further up to the heavens. Follow the ball through the ceiling, through the roof. Feel 10 times taller, just wrapped around this ball as big as the building. Body empty, mind resting on this image. Breathing, we can just use the nose now, breathing in and out. When we go deeper into the practice, use the nose. Hands gradually can come down around the ball into the earth. You just rest on this image, leaning on the ball, becoming the shell on the outside of the ball. Stay connected as if the fingers reach into the earth, the head into the sky, feet into the earth. Whole body is expanded, dissolved together with this ball. Imagine if someone came in the room, they'd just see a big, bright ball. Smile on the face, take it easy. So one of the things in Qigong often is we just rest the mind on a simple image. Don't have to think about anything, about our problems. We just allow the energy to go wherever is needed. The energy knows actually has an intelligence. Any weaker part, the energy will go there. Check the knees slightly bent, feet large into the earth, hands sensitive. If the ball moves, you just follow. You can go to the horizon, go up to the heaven, just follow wherever the ball moves. So often the Qi can spontaneously guide the body. When we connect well, the energy moves us. But just keep connected to this image. Feel you become the shell of the ball, just wrapped around this big ball, as big as the room. Wherever you feel comfortable, main thing is nowhere is squashed or uptight. Whole body is opened up. Smile on the face, we often mention. This way, every cell of the body is smiling. The body works so hard to keep us healthy, so we just allow every cell to connect with this energy field. Become this ball as big as the building. Move if it moves. If it doesn't, you can just stay where you are. But just keep that connection as if we're dipping into this universal Qi field, absorbed into the body. Sense the ball empty and full at the same time. Full of light, full of potential. Same with the body. When we create the space in the body, many things can shift, many things can dissolve away. But we just allow the energy to do it for us, no effort needed. one of the Qigong principles is achieving more with less effort. So we allow ourselves to be guided, not physically doing it, but energetically, just moving with the ball. Gradually just give a hint to the ball to come back where we started. So just slowly the ball becoming more concentrated between the hands, where we started, about the width of the body, holding the ball in front, and keep the eyes closed. Just feel the ball much more concentrated. Go around the ball a few times yourself. Just sense the fullness of this ball in front. Go around it your own way. Then we give a hint for the ball to reduce in size, becoming smaller between the hands. Feel the hands follow the ball as it becomes more and more concentrated and attracted to a lower position towards the lower abdomen area, the ball becoming smaller, like a small football size. Hands go around it smoothly, can't collapse it, more and more concentrated, smaller than a football size. Just a few inches or centimeters across. Hold the ball in front of the lower abdomen area. Then hold the two hands towards the body. So the ball towards the body, just below the belly button, below the navel. Allow the hands to follow the ball towards the body, dissolving into the lower abdomen, just below the navel. This is our main energy center in Qigong, in yoga, just below the belly button. Sense the ball becoming smaller, more and more concentrated. Ladies, the right hand touching the body first. Men, the left hand. So ladies, right hand inside the left, men, left inside the right. Just rest the hands over what we call the dantian in Chinese, the main energy chakra or center. Feel the ball becoming tiny, like a tiny pearl in the center. If you feel the breathing here, the movement, it's very good. This is where young children breathe. And if you can't feel it, when you gently press down, you breathe out. Breathe in, this area expands. So feel the dantian moving and also becoming warmer, the ball becoming tiny like a pearl in the center, deep in the center of the dantian. So this is where we store our energy. Qi is energy, Gong is time or practice we spend cultivating the energy. So Qigong is energy cultivation, time spent cultivating. And we store the energy internally. When our energy is strong internally, then the immune system is strong. The whole body can actually heal itself and also prevent illness in the first place. You become more aware of anything that's maybe out of balance. Sense the warmth building up. And a lot of problems tend to happen around this area with digestion, elimination, sexual organs. So when we concentrate the energy here, you sense the warmth going deep to the center until it becomes like a tiny pearl or a spark of light. When it can't become any smaller, it expands back into the body, absorbed into the body. So the warmth absorbed into the internal organs, the light down to the feet, up to the head, whole body absorbing the chi, the light from the center here. Smile on the face. Breathing in and out through the nose. Even though breathing in and out through the nose, you can feel the dantian expanding, contracting. And if we can't, don't worry. With time, these things all start happening. It's like we're retraining the body to work in its natural way. Children breathe here. As adults, we forget. We tend to breathe a bit shallow. Sense the warmth concentrating. Gradually, gently press the hands down in the dantian. Concentrate the energy further here. So gradually press down, hands come off gradually. Can move the fingers, open the eyes. When you move the fingers, become clearer. Make a fist, breathe in deeply by the head. Breathe out. It's like squeezing the whole body together. Squeezing the moisture into the bones. Softening up the bones, the whole body. So one of the things with Qigong is like a rejuvenating practice. When the energy starts flowing, going to the right places, then you might feel also more rejuvenated and energetic. Shake off, and after standing for a while, anywhere that still feels a bit stiff, sometimes we hold the ball, we might hold it physically. You could do some slapping around those areas. If the legs go a bit stiff, then just slap the legs a bit. Anywhere at the end, you just do what we did at the beginning, slapping, cleaning off. And finishing off is we do a kind of standing, feet parallel, but we go down to the feet, come up in front with the arms. So slightly different. This is more strengthening for the physical body. Down the back, front, lower back, push down to the feet, come up in front. So sense the lower part especially stronger. As the arms come up, the legs stronger into the earth, and the physical body feeling stronger. Once more, push down, come up, then back, down to the feet. 3 more times, up, back, down to the feet. So just to explain a little bit about the ball, when we hold the ball in front like this, sometimes we might get a bit squashed in the armpits or the elbows. So just check that everywhere is smooth and open. So we want to hold a ball that's open, energy can circulate around, and as it becomes bigger, the whole front part dissolves together with the ball. So that's the, if you like, the yang, the pure part of the body is the front part. A lot of health issues because the yin, the yang get mixed up. The heavy part is too much at the front. Like we think a lot, thoughts are here, heavy. So when we do this, everything is pushed to the back, down to earth. That's why the head can feel clearer, body can feel lighter. The yin element goes where it belongs, to earth. Yang element, pure element, is clear, open. So we're reorganizing this whole energy system just by holding this simple image. And when the body becomes empty like this, the qi goes to wherever is needed. So you might notice some areas more relaxed, some areas strengthened. Somebody mentioned they came to the class for the first time and they said, I think we did hold the ball, empty ball. And he said he felt like all his organs went back to their right place, internal organs, which is a great observation. And if we create space in the body, everything finds its place. Sometimes things are a bit squashed, as we know. And over years, you know, the vertebrae, the spine. So Qigong, very important to actually extend, keep the spine soft and straight, keep the internal organs spacious and working together. So when you create the space, the qi can flow in the right places. So that's what we did this evening. So just finish off a few times, clear the head a little bit. And this is a useful one to do if you ever have headaches, you feel a bit woozy, or working on the computer a lot, a bit frazzled. Just push the energy front to the back. Front to the back, you're pushing all the heaviness to the back of the head. You can clear the head quite quickly doing this. So physically with the hair, then clean the division between the hair and the face. This is really effective to clear any stuck feeling. If you're thinking, you're anxious, you just clean this division. And behind the ears, and then make a fist, lift the hair at the back as if you're making yourself taller. This is very good for lifting any heaviness off the back of the head. So head clearer, and then final one is without touching, front to back, front to back, front to back. Always front to back. Cleaning, clearing, look up, breathe in deeply, feel clearer in the head. So this principle, always the same, front to back, front to back, front to back. The whole form and the energy is always going to the back, down to earth. So then you end up, hopefully, a lot of the heaviness settled, body clear, mind is also uplifted. So I'll put you on, I'll unmute you all. And if you don't mind, in the chat, if you put a figure in when we started 0 to 10, just put in what the figure is now. Maybe put in, if you were a 6, now might be an 8, put 6, now an 8 or something. Just put it in the chat. I'm just curious if you've noticed any difference in your energy or in your health during the session. So I'm just going to unmute your lines, and if you have any questions, you're welcome to ask. Let me just unmute a second. Okay, how do we do that? Unmute all. There we go. And welcome to some of you I haven't seen for a while, like Lucia and Jerry, who I went to university with many years ago. So any of you have any questions, please ask. And I know if it's Qigong for the first time, it might seem something a bit weird, but actually, just to explain, even Einstein said, we're all energy beings. All there is energy, and Qi is energy. We're actually practicing something very normal and natural, but we've got used to wanting kind of quick solutions like pills for things, but actually with things like Qigong, you can really make a difference. So put your comments into the chat, and any questions anyone has? Don't be shy. Oh, okay. Somebody right now. Okay. Adina, I think you were 7, now 5 because you're tired. Okay. Okay. Tiredness is not a bad thing. Sometimes we get tired because we're doing things physically all the time. You know, that's life. When we switch off, you know, even if you sit and meditate, often people just fall asleep because their energy is actually a bit collapsed, not really flowing up the spine, around the body. So when you do a practice like Qigong, often you feel like the physical is fighting the Qi, and the Qi always wins. Energy always wins. So tiredness is not a bad thing. It's quite good to then lie down after a practice, and then you feel recharged later on. So don't worry about tiredness. That's always a, you know, never a bad thing, you know. So any other questions you can put in the chat, or just ask. Don't be shy. We're all in this together. Okay, where's the chat? There it is. Oh, someone's gone. Oh, sorry, that's when you started. You've gone from 5 to an 8. Oh, good. Okay, good. That's good. It was me misreading it. Yeah. So I think, okay, if you don't have any questions, I'm just trying to think if there's anything else. Just one thing I'm going to mention. I think there'll be one more webinar I'll do, and then there's going to be a kind of membership group. So we're going to do a couple of sessions a month. There'll be a Facebook group, you know, live sessions a month, Facebook group, and actually helping to create a community where we can become healthier, more inspired. And there's lots of other aspects of Qigong, like, you know, how to live and integrate these principles into daily life. You know, it's not about switching off and doing something completely different. It's, you know, there's Qigong walking, there's Qigong sleeping, you know, Qigong digestion. There's so many aspects to how we can use this energy. But ultimately, if you're in good shape, actually, you can deal with things in life very easily. What I find is, you know, when I don't practice or when I haven't, you know, things get on top of me. But when I'm in, you know, when I'm well connected, I can handle, you know, anything almost, you know. And that's the beauty of Qigong. You just can see through things and have a clarity. You know, solutions come to you. You know, you dip into this Qi field. And when you do meditation, like sitting and things like that, you definitely get like solutions coming in, and a lot of benefits that obviously in a short session like tonight, we can't always get. So if anyone's interested, I'll email you all the recording anyway of tonight. You can go through it again. So if you joined it halfway through, and I know most people aren't on tonight, they couldn't come on, so they'll get the recording as well. So there's about 60 people last time and this time who registered, which is great. So I think, I'm hoping that we can start a really nice community together, and I'll send everybody some details on this membership starting in March. So next week I'm going on a Qigong retreat myself with my teacher for about 8 days. And there's a retreat in Sardinia. Anyone interested? I'm Sardinian. Come and join me in April. It's on the website, flowinghealth.co.uk. Going to be great. So anything, anything else before we go? Okay, people are always very modest in England. They never like to talk much. So thank you everyone for joining. And if you're watching on replay, thank you so much. And we'll see you soon. Take care, everyone. Bye.
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 Okay.